Hello, bookworms! Today I'm here to do the Pokemon Go book tag. Auntie, I believe that's how you say her name, from Read at Midnight. She is a book blogger that I found recently, and I really enjoy her blog, so I will leave a link to it down below. But she created this book tag, and as you know from watching any of my other videos, I have been incredibly addicted to Pokemon Go. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, that is a tag that I'm going to be doing. So here it is. Yesterday, actually, was a very big day for me because I got a Gengar! I got this plush, actually, at the Nintendo store, but I also registered a Gengar into my Pokedex. I was able to evolve my Haunter, and it was a very big moment for me because I love Gengar. He's one of my favorite Pokemon. I think that he's kind of like the cat of Pokemon because he's like evil, but you're just so cute. No one believes that you're really evil. So I love him. But anyway, I'm gonna get into the book tag portion of this. The first question is starters, the book that started your love for reading. So for this one, I don't have a physical copy with me, but I would have to accredit that to two series, which I have said before, but those would definitely be Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. That's probably one of the first series that I got really into, and I would constantly need to get new books from. Like, I would look forward to trips to the bookstore just so that I could get the next Goosebumps book. So that, as well as The Babysitter's Club by Ann M. Martin, and the Sweet Valley High books by Francine Pascal, which, looking back at some of those storylines, I'm kind of horrified that, like, I loved them so much because they're so messed up. Anyway, though, those were really, like, the three series that got me, like, super into reading, and then the one that you're thinking of is going to be my answer for the next question, which is Pikachu, an iconic classic that you'll always love. And for that, you can see right behind me here, I would definitely obviously pick Harry Potter. This is another series that got me really into reading. I do feel like the other series that I mentioned were series that I read prior to Harry Potter, and that was really what like kickstarted my love of reading. But Harry Potter, it like just changed everything because it was really the first fantasy series that I read. I got so invested in it. I just fell in love with everything. Yeah, I love it so much. So that is something that will always be an enormous part of my life. The next one is Zubat, a book you lost interest in because it's literally everywhere. So I'm just going to insert a little image of it over here because apparently this book is everywhere except for where I need it to be to show you. And that is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Everyone talks about it. It's been made into a movie. It's in every store ever, I feel like. It's just all over the place. And I was really interested in reading it until the book got spoiled for me. And now I've kind of lost interest, and I don't know. I don't know if I should still read it. I just can't decide. But it's literally everywhere. That is the book that I see more than any other book. The next question is Ditto, a book that reminds you of other books or tropes, but you still love anyway. For that one, I would have to pick Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I use the term love loosely, but this book really reminded me a lot of a mix of the Hunger Games and the Selection series. There were just a ton of tropes in it that are constantly used in YA. Like, it felt a lot like a combination of other books as opposed to like its own original work, but I still enjoyed it. I still haven't read the second book. I know that a lot of people seem to like that one less, so I've been a little bit hesitant about picking that up, but yeah. The next question is Snorlax, a book series you have not started because of sheer size. So for that one, I am going to pick The Inheritance Quartet by Christopher Paolini. Like, this is huge. This is a lot of stuff to get through, and I know that the first book reads very slowly. I remember that my brother read these and he really loved them when we were younger, but I just never got into them then. So I am still curious about them now, but every time I'm like, oh, I should read one of these, I'm like, it's really long. And then I don't. The next one is Gengar, a book that kept you up at night. And for that, I definitely have to choose The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I feel like I haven't talked about this one in a while, but it is like one of my favorite books after the Harry Potter series. It follows a guy who becomes the greatest wizard of all time. His name is Quoth, and he's going back and chronicling his story over 3 days to somebody, and then there's also a lot of stuff that's happening in the current time, and they kind of take interludes to show you where the characters currently are and Quoth's journey to getting there. So it's just so engaging. I love the writing. I love the characters so much, and I could not put this one down. I definitely read it a lot quicker than I was expecting to, because this is this one's actually not too bad. It's like about 700 pages, but the second one is really long. That one's like almost 1,000 pages. So I was nervous about starting them because they're so long, but I wish that they were even longer. The next one is Nido King and Nido Queen, and that is your bookish OTP. So first I was like, who should I choose for this one? And then I was like, duh. Obviously Feyre and Rhysand, because they are perfect together, and I love this book. This is my favorite book of the year, and they are just like everything, and I really want to read more about them, and I wish that like I could just live in the Night Court with them, and they are amazing. And yeah, they are definitely like the best bookish couple ever. Next is Rapidash, a fire-hot, fast-paced read. And for this one, I am picking a book that I read last month, and that is In Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I was a little bit nervous going into this one because I wasn't sure if I was gonna love it that much, since it seemed like there was going to be a lot of like war, and it was based on ancient Roman times. So I like was intrigued, but I wasn't sold on it being something that would really like hook me. And wow, this totally did. Like, there was just action and excitement from the first chapter up until the last chapter. Sabaa Tahir crafted an incredible story, and she made some very compelling characters, and I just was amazed at how quickly I read this book. I thought it was going to take me like a week and a half or something, and that it would be very dense, and that was just not the case. I read through it in 2 days because I couldn't put it down. The next one is Evie, a series you will never get tired of seeing spin-offs for. So for that, since I already chose Harry Potter, and I'm trying not to repeat answers even though Harry Potter is the obvious answer for this one, I am going to go with the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, because I would just love to see her continue adapting different fairy tales. I would love to see anything that's going on with anybody in the future who survives and has maybe any children together or something. I'd love to hear about their stories. I really love these characters, and I feel like there is a lot of potential to just expand further, because there are so many fairy tales that she didn't even explore, and she was able to do like the little short story section. Like, I liked the Little Mermaid one. I thought that was really cute, but there's just so much more that she could do, and I would read it. Next is Magikarp, a book series that was surprisingly awesome. So for this one, I am going to go with the Selection series by Kira Cass. I have heard so many people say how like these are not great books, but they're addicting. So I went into it knowing that and thinking that it was something that was going to be like very fluffy and whatever, and it totally is, but there is another side to it, and there is like this kind of rebellion going on, which is much more in depth than I was really expecting it to be. I really thought this was just going to be like girls in dresses and a love triangle, and like that was all that I knew about it. So I'm really pleased with how it was. I mean, the second book was so annoying and made me so irritated because of the way that the characters were acting, and I hated that, but I still like couldn't put it down, and I still really enjoyed it, and I liked it overall. I have not continued and read the next two, which are about America's Daughter, so I can't really speak to that, but I can say that the initial trilogy is something that was surprisingly awesome to me. The next question is Legendary, an overhyped series you're still excited to read. And for that, I am going to pick Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. The first book in the series is the only book that's been out so far, but everybody has been saying that this one is so much better than The Mortal Instruments, and that I've heard people even say that it's better than The Infernal Devices, which I really loved. So I am really excited to read this. I don't care if there are people who didn't like it. And there is like so much hype surrounding it, and this book is enormous, but I can't wait. Like, I think that I'm really gonna love it. I just need to get through those last two Mortal Instruments books, and then I can finally move on to this one, and I really want to do that before the second book in the series comes out. The next one is Mew and Mewtwo, a collector's edition you wish you owned. So that means something that I don't currently own, and for that, I would have to go with the Penguin Drops Cap series. They're just so pretty. Like, each book is such a bold color, and they have just a letter on the front of it, and it's so, like, the typography is just beautiful, and all of them together are just gorgeous. And the reason that I don't own them is because I looked through them. There were some of them that appealed to me, but other ones that I feel like are books that I wouldn't ever necessarily read. I just think that they look really pretty lined up next to each other. So it's not something that I would buy for myself, but if I happened to come into like $700, because I think that's how much it costs for like the full set, then I would totally get those, I guess. But yeah, they're really pretty, and I will insert an image of them up here. Next is Pokey Egg, a debut novel you're very excited for. And for that, I have to go with Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I got a copy of this arc at BEA, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm trying to read things in order of publication date, so that's why I haven't gotten to it yet. But this was probably my most anticipated book of BEA, and I really just can't wait to read it. It's been compared to The Night Circus. It's coming out in January of next year, and it just sounds amazing. And this is her first novel, so I can't wait to read it. The next one is Lore Module, an auto by author. And for that one, I obviously have to choose Victoria Schwab because I love everything that she puts out. And I love that all of her books are so different from one another, but she still manages to kind of like master each genre that she's writing in. The Archived and the Unbound are still my favorites, and I'm still waiting for that third book. But yeah, anything that Victoria writes, I am in. Like, I am totally in. I still need to read The Savage Song, and hopefully I'll get to that this month. But I just love her writing, and she just crafts such interesting worlds. And yeah, I will forever buy anything that she writes. And finally, the last question is Servers Down, a book release you've been waiting on forever. And for that one, I am going to go with Always and Forever Lara Jean, which is going to be the third book in the To All the Boys I Loved Before series by Jenny Han. I've been waiting on it forever because I really wanted it to be a trilogy, and it was only supposed to be a duology. And then while I was at BEA, I saw a cake that Jenny Han posted on Instagram announcing that she is actually writing that third book. So that's going to be coming out next year, and I'm really, really looking forward to that one. I really can't wait to get more of these characters. I just really love Lara Jean, and all of her interests are like very similar to my interests. I like that she likes baking and just like hanging out at home. She's very family oriented. But yeah, like I need more of those books in my life, and I've been like seriously considering rereading the first two just because I want to be back in that story. So those were all of the questions for the Pokemon Go book tag. Auntie from Read at Midnight, again, is the creator, and I will leave a link to her blog post, and she also created all of the really cool graphics, so that's worth noting. And then, yeah, so now I guess it's time to tag some people, and I am going to, first of all, tag people that I know that have also been addicted to Pokemon Go. So I'm gonna tag Monica from She Might Be Monica, Alexa from Alexa Loves Books, Christina from Christina Horner. I'm gonna say Kat from Catty-tastic because I know that she likes Nintendo and Pokemon and stuff. So I'm gonna tag those 4 people. If you're also enjoying Pokemon, let me know who's your favorite Pokemon, and also if you want to do this tag, you should do this tag. And yeah, good luck and happy Pokemon hunting, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye! Thank you.